Hey guys, Peter here. So let's talk about insecurities. Do I struggle with insecurities? I struggle a lot with insecurities, and it's a tough topic because it's something that we are taught to hide. We're taught to be as confident as possible, and the only time you probably ever think about the area of weakness is, that typical interview question, like what are your weaknesses? And then we come up with a question that we can flip into a strength, and that's probably as often as we talk about insecurities or weaknesses in a real way, at least. I know one insecurity that I have often struggled with is the idea of being an imposter, or they call it Imposter Syndrome. And the way it's defined is, I don't feel as though I deserve my achievements or the esteem that people may hold me in. I don't feel as though I am as competent as people think I am. And there's a fear or a concern that ultimately I'm going to be found out as a fraud or an imposter. That's something that I have wrestled with. I went to a good school and I've worked at a high level in the financial field, for over a decade, but I felt like an imposter for a lot of that time. And what has gotten me through my insecurities, it's ultimately just spending time with people and getting to know different types of people in different areas of life. Number one, we're all in the same boat. Everyone has insecurities. Some of it may be really weird to you. Like you hear about someone's insecurity, maybe it's like the shape of their nails, their fingernails, or the shape of their mouth or their nose. And you may think about it like, well, there's nothing wrong with your mouth, your nose, or your fingernails. Like, why would you feel insecure about it? But people do feel insecure about things that seem strange to you. And so it's really, I think it's comforting to know that we are all in the same boat, that ultimately, no matter how well put together someone is on the outside, they're still struggling with some insecurities. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean that's not there. I think the other thing that's really helpful in dealing with insecurities is that nobody has anything in life perfectly figured out. You find these books written on parenting or how to do certain things really well by self-help authors, and it's not as though they're perfect parents. They're just writing a book based upon their experiences or the research that they've done, and this is what they know best at that time, but they're ultimately still trying to figure it out as well. And even when I've spoken to senior executives, CEOs, and CFOs, and you ask them questions about the business, when you drill down to deeper and deeper questions, you realize that they're still trying to figure it out. Even though they are the CEO of a company and they have to put on a very confident front, they have to talk about the prospects of their business in a very optimistic way, they are still trying to figure it out. And they just don't know how certain things will play out, but they're trying their best to put on a confident face and to put on an air of inspiration, if you will, for the folks that either work for them or for the folks that are invested with them. And so I think after realizing that, it made me feel a lot better about my own insecurities. That, again, it's like a reaffirming of the first topic, which is that we're all in the same boat, we're all struggling with insecurities, but even people that seem like they're experts in certain fields are still trying to figure it out. And, in some sense, there's no true expert, there's no perfect expert. Every expert is just someone who's still learning. The third thing that's helped me out with insecurities is that we think of our strengths often as the talents that we have, or the area of study that we have spent a lot of time and devoted a lot of time into. And we think that what we can offer things to people from these two buckets, our talents, or what we've studied, and where we have experience in, we actually have more to offer people, or more to offer the society or the world than those things. Sometimes the things that we've struggled in the things that we have been very weak in life, those things are actually things that, when shared with other people, and when other people hear about our struggles and how we deal with it, that actually becomes the most helpful things to people. So weaknesses actually become our strengths, if you will. So those are three, I guess, topics or ideas around insecurity that have helped me, and things that I've observed about this topic of insecurity as I've experienced life. And I hope that this helps you. And if you're feeling with insecurity, just know that it's not as though other people are pointing at you and saying, well, you should feel insecure about A, B, C, D. That's not reality. Insecurity is really us coming up with this fictional, perfect version of ourselves. And then that version, we think, is like pointing a finger at us, at all the imperfection, and saying, you should feel insecure about this or that. It's just all in our own minds. It's in our own mind, and we have the ability to just shed it off, to just let it go once we realize that the insecurities, or the thoughts of insecurities that we have, is actually fictitious. And as we live life, get to meet people, get to experience different things, we are drawn closer into reality. And we realize that we're all imperfect people. We have a lot of things that we're all working on, but at the same time, we have a lot of things we can offer each other in the world. So God bless you all. Hopefully this is a helpful, brief conversation for you. And if you have any comments, thoughts, any other questions, please drop a comment down below, and I will do my best to respond to them. And we're just a new channel, just starting out. If you have any other topics that you would like me to discuss, please let me know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.